up with keeping all the house cleaning tasks that you go on at. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well out there. I'm coming at you again with some other house cleaning tips for you today, and I am excited. Dust is one of my biggest things that I love to talk about, and I love to talk about how to get rid of them, whether it be like placing an apple or an orange or something like that around to absorb smells and moisture, I think, for the fruit that I'm talking about. But dust is also important too. I live up in the mountains. I have a dirt road right in front of me. Semis go by all the time. So I'm always going around trying to keep up with everything in the summertime, not as bad as in wintertime, because I do like to open my windows. I live in an area where they don't encourage you to use air conditioning, and it really only gets hot for a little while, but I do love the summer atmosphere and wind blowing and that type of thing. But when it does, it's miserable as far as the dusting and things go like that. So, with that being said, if you want to keep dust on a reduction and you live in a bigger house than I do, I live in kind of a small place. The best thing to do is start at the top of the room and move down. You want to start with any air vents that you have up there, any ceiling fans, and then you want to move to your window treatment or shades from there. You want to hit your headboards, make sure that everything is dusted from there. Dusting your furniture is a good place to start, but there's a lot of other places in your room that are going to bring dust in that will accumulate on the places that you've already cleaned. So that's a good idea to do. Just start out with that Swiffer sweeper, put a what do you call it, a sheet on the floor or cleaning tarp on the floor for you. Get started wiping everything down. Yeah, that way the dust that you're collecting isn't going to be so awful to clean up afterwards. You can clean up the sheet fairly easy. And if you want to do your window treatments or shades, which I really got to get to myself this summer, I've got those little ones with the little slats. I really don't like them, but they were here when I moved in. So, yeah, it's either going to be that or to replace them, I guess. Anyway, back to cleaning them, put a, towel or a drape cloth underneath them, get that, Swiffer sweeper going, or use a cloth, not a cloth, old sock that has the ruffle ridges on it that'll really catch the stuff to go through and knock all the dust of it off and everything again. And then I do have like what you call, I don't know, like a squeegee meant for the slats in between. So I clean all the dust off first and then go in there with that and try to clean up any residue that comes on. I do have plants that are over there, and like I said, the dust comes in. Then you want to go ahead and get the window seals and everything. Look at the dust, what do you call that? The baseboards also. And a lot of this you can do with a wet cloth or a Swiffer sweeper, make it speedy and everything. And then you want to make sure that you clean everything from the top down, including your furniture. If you're going to dust, start from the top, go to the bottom. And that's mostly with everything. You want to push the dust down. And then finally, I don't know how you feel about it, but I've always vacuumed at the end. And so you get that old vacuum out, Swiffer sweeper, or whatever you got going in that room, and get over there, get into vacuuming and everything. And that should really keep your dust down quite a bit, especially if you have allergies. If you have allergies too, and you have pets, that might make you want to keep your bedding a little more stripped and everything, so that your pet hair doesn't accumulate. I'm not saying that you're going to let that happen, but the more proactive you are, the better off it is. Anyway, let me check my notes here and see if there was anything else I forgot to tell you. Give me just a minute here and look at my notes. And oh yeah, okay, so we didn't discuss the kitchen area. There's also, I wanted to mention, bookcases and books. The tops of the books do collect quite a bit. For that, if you have a handheld little vacuum thing, or just using the vacuum hose part of it to go over the books and your shelves, just to get the dust off, and then you can follow up with dusting and everything else after that. In the kitchen, you want to make sure you get your kitchen cabinets, the top of the refrigerator, wood furniture. For the most part, you can wipe all furniture with a microfiber clean cloth, which we talked about already. and soft furnishings and upholstery. Take cushions outside and gently beat them by hand to remove dust. If there are stains, check the care labels before proceeding further. Use your vacuum specialized upholstery crevice tools to clean under the seat cushions. I just use a handheld, yeah, thing to do that part there because I think it's good. Make a solution of hot water in a Tide Pod and then dampen the cloth and run the lid back and forth on the upholstery couch. For a deep cleaning, dusting approach, steam clean the sofa after you vacuum up the debris, just like a new finish. We talked about the baseboards. And that was all. That was all I had in there now. It would probably could do good if you have a lot of lamps to think about cleaning the lampshades too. I do have a lot of dust that builds up just on these little ones here that I don't use very often. So I hope those tips were helpful for you today. If you have any tips that you'd like to talk about, drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear some items that you can suggest or have covered as well. Take care out there. Cha-Cha and I, my girl Cha-Cha, are wishing you well. You guys have a good night. Take care now.